Hey, Coach, how can you say about how your team's played in this early conference schedule?
I'm really excited about how they've come along. It's like watching a baby grow week by week, and now they start to, walk, and it's kind of been that way. I'm a proud mama watching how they've grown as a group.
Mm-hmm. How long do you think they can keep this up? Is this a thing that's going to drive you to the #1 seed this year?
I sure hope so. I think that the team, again, they really take to heart everything that they're being asked to do. From the coaching staff, they really want to follow through on everything that we're asking them to do, and easily the most coachable team that I've ever coached.
Mm-hmm. And what can you say about Clancy and her weekend and how she did this weekend?
Well, you just heard from her. I think she'll be the next Prime Minister of Ireland, and if she ever wants to immigrate to the United States, we could sure use some help. She blows my socks off how great she is. Person, player, leader, student. She's just amazing, and I'm incredibly blessed to have her in my life.
Coach, congratulations on the great start so far.
Thank you.
Just talk a little bit about this season. I mean, the way things started off to where they are now. I mean, this team, as you said, as a little kid, is growing up and is getting better and better. What can we expect out of you guys in the next few weeks, heading into the Big West tournament in March?
Well, I sure hope some more growth. I think that this last week we played maybe the best basketball we've played to date this year, and certainly, arguably, maybe my tenure at Cal Poly. Just some super players, super teamwork, people stepping up into different roles than maybe they've been accustomed to. Rachel's a great example of that. She's always had this skill, but hasn't always given herself permission to risk some of the things that she isn't known for, I guess. Everybody knows about her three-point shooting, but to go shot, fake, pull-up, dribble, leading us in rebounding this year, there's just so many things that she brings to the table, and her leadership is direly needed. And it's like, what she comes to me every day and says, what can I do, Coach? Is there something more I can give? And who wouldn't love to coach that? I'm lucky.
Yeah, obviously with the injuries of Santiago and other players, you needed people to step up right away. And are you surprised with not only Rachel but other players as well, just the way that they can not only step up but also be a benefit out there in different positions too?
Oh, they blow me away. I'm really encouraged by what I've seen them do, especially this last week with the numbers down. And I could just go through the whole list of people that have just astounded me. From Tamara Wells, who struggled a little bit in the first start of the year, and then she really took ownership of what her greatest value is to the team, which is her defensive presence. And, if somebody stole a purse from anybody, she would track them down. She's just been a hawk on defense for us. So playing some great basketball. Jonay Irvin's come into her own. I know that she's been a great player all along, but, as she's coming off her knee injury and being really her first year on the court, just amazing me what she was able to do. 8 assists, no turnovers last game, and 8 points, and obviously hit a big 3 for us at a desperate time when we needed it. And just the maturity that I'm seeing from her is thrilling. I can keep going down the list. Kayla Griffin, Caroline Reeves, just Ashley Burns when she's got an opportunity on the court. Just Abby Bletcher. Every game somebody different. I'm just really excited about this team.
I was at the UCSB game with the UC Davis, and 23 turnovers by the Gauchos led to 22 points for the Aggies, and that'll lose a game, anytime, anywhere. But what did you tell your team about the turnovers and stress about that going into the Davis game? Because this is a huge win for you guys. You guys knocked off the preseason #1 favorite, and that's a nice win to have.
Yeah, well, I think that some things that we did really well, we positioned Jonay Irvin at the point position, and to me that was probably the biggest area of pressure from the Davis defense. They're a great defensive team. Their zone is so different than teams that we faced in the past with, you see a normal 2-3, but they're a 2-1-2. It's trapping, pressure all the time. You got to be sharp. And we spent a lot of time with the ball in our hands. I know we didn't, we weren't sloppy with the ball. Having strong post presence from Kayla Griffin up at the high post, which, she played softball, let me tell you. So she's got mitts for hands, and with her mitts, she doesn't let too many things go. And we had success in the past against Davis because we had Becky Trotter up at the high post, and the same kind of thing, a nice, strong player with great, strong hands. And you need that because they're flying all the way through, maybe sometimes 3 players converging at that high post. So they were stellar. And then, Clancy and for the most part, Johnston playing the wing positions. They're great. And then we got a little work from big Molly Schlemer underneath, and Caroline Ray's working her magic on the block area in the short corner. They just followed the game plan to the T, and we needed that because Davis is such a great team. And again, credit to the team. They're just awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Coach. So you had some limited numbers last week. What will the roster look like this week for you guys?
We'll still be limited.
All right.
Yeah.
You may have heard me ask Rachel, last year's success, the success from the last couple of years. I mean, how's that going to help this year's squad in hopefully maintaining the hot start and hopefully maintaining the status atop the Big West standings?
Well, in my experience, which I've been here a while now, I've found that the greatest hurdle for us to overcome during my tenure at Cal Poly has been the belief that they can win. I've had talented teams before, but they get right to that place where it's maybe a 2 or 3 point game, and while they were evenly matched with their opponent, they didn't necessarily believe that they could win the game. And that oftentimes is just the one ingredient that doesn't permit you to have success. If there's any doubt that you can be successful, I think there's something that's missing. The fact that Rachel can attest to, she believes going in every game that we're going to win. If we execute the game plan, we're going to win. Again, I think it's a change of belief internally, and internally within the players, but also internally within our program. They believe in themselves, and they should. They're very, very good.
And finally, you've got 2 on the road, but you're going to play a lot of games on the road here in the next couple of weeks. I guess 5 of 7, 7 of 10. Any concerns about that? And are you got to play those games, obviously, but I mean, what challenges will that have for your guys?
Well, probably the biggest challenge for any coach at Cal Poly is making sure that academically we stay right on top of things, because missing that much class time is always a concern for the success, and ultimately they are student athletes. Sometimes we forget that part. And at Cal Poly, the student part is the biggest emphasis. So that's always a concern for me, that we can put them in positions where we can minimize their class time lost. But we have been on the road pretty much the whole season, and I've been pleased with how we've played. There's been a couple games that we were, not where we needed to be, but I don't know that it was necessarily that we were traveling or that we were road weary or anything like that. We got stomped by Illinois pretty handedly, but they were on fire that game, and I don't know that if we played that game at home, if they were on that kind of torrid pace and ability to score, that anything would have changed, and they probably would have beaten anybody that they faced that day, including UConn. So I don't really know that that we're scared of the road. I'm not. I miss my pooch when I'm on the road, little buddy, But everybody's nice to Buddy when I'm away. He actually prefers when he stays with the neighbor, because she definitely spoils him, and he comes back, he's like, dog food? I got bacon and eggs before. Yeah.
Coach, would you say after Saturday's game that was what your team had been through last week, that was the proudest you've been since you've been here, or one of the most proudest times? And how do you keep it going? How do you make sure there's no drop-off from there?
It was. As proud as I was for us to get to a championship game and do so many great things that this program has done, the quality and the character of our team members was fully displayed last week. And those are the biggest trophies that any coach, I would hope, would want. That lessons can be taught, and you can take these lessons into your life for a lifetime. And hopefully that'll outlive anything that I do here at Cal Poly.
Let's boost up the positivity more. Talk about Schlemer. She seemed to be, she was almost unstoppable against the Davis game, which, we watched her at Rigetti. She had a great game. Just talk about what she added, and, that kind of just symbolized your whole team last week as well.
It did. I was so excited for her. She's she's been doing some great things in practice and really coming along, and I'm just so thrilled that she was able to put it together for us. We have had success with Santiago on that back line of that zone defense, and so for Molly to have great confidence and step on the court and do the damage that she did, I thought was thrilling for her, thrilling for our program, and obviously a great result for our team because of it.
Cool. Thanks, Coach.
Mhm.